Hi! I got a question recently. How do you assess your own work? How do you objectively, see your own work? Basically the question is, how do you keep your eyes fresh and your brain fresh when viewing your work? There's actually been research on this. It's called neural adaptation. It's a bunch of things that's happening, but essentially, if you're looking at a thing that's not really changing that much, your neurons are actually firing less intensely when viewing it. And what you're seeing is kind of sort of replaced with what your brain is telling you to see. Your brain is like, oh, we've seen this before. This is what it looks like. But you're not actually looking at it, which is weird. And I'm simplifying it a bit, but we have to combat that, right? We have to stay fresh in our viewing of our work, because otherwise we have no idea what we're doing. And we don't want to just paint, or maybe you want to, but I don't want to. I want to paint what I realistic stuff. I can't rely on my brain here. I have to rely on my eyes and the information I'm getting. I made a list, no, not a list. This is 5 things you can do. It's not that. It's just a few tips and tricks you can use in order to help you objectively look at your work and assess it. Okay, let's start. Number 1 is to just stand back from your painting. So, as far back as you can. And then what you do is you sort of creep up on the thing you're doing. You get closer and closer and closer, and then you're gonna see different stuff, right? Depending on how close you get. If you're standing way further back, it's gonna focus more on the composition, the overall shapes, and sort of how the picture looks from a larger distance, sort of like a stamp. And you'll notice different things than when you're this close to it, And this is also probably my favorite way of enjoying other people's art. When I thought about this, I was like, yeah, but this is how a museum works, right? Like how museums and galleries work. You step into a museum and a gallery, and you're gonna see all the art and stuff from a distance. And then whatever catches your attention, that's ooh. Then you move closer and closer and closer, and you're gonna notice different things. You're gonna notice, oh wow, what a great use of color, and oh, I didn't notice that detail there, and oh, and then when you get really close, you're like, wow, look at the brushwork. It's just mush and paint. But from afar, it looks great. So yeah, stand back. Next one. This one is super simple actually. It's just a matter of turning it upside down. And all of a sudden you're gonna notice a bunch of different stuff you didn't think of before, because you haven't seen it upside down before. And it sort of changes everything, right? It changes the composition, it changes how you view things, especially when working realistically, in particular portraits, I would say. Because then you might want to sort of distance yourself a bit from the symbolic value of certain things. Like if I say to draw a nose to someone, they will have an idea of how to draw a nose, right? Since we maybe drew figures when we were kids or something. And so it would be their brain's idea of a nose. But to draw realistic art, you kind of have to just look at the thing and just draw it and paint it exactly as it tells you what it looks like. You can't insert your own ideas too much, because then you're gonna wear off. So turning it upside down is perfect. Sometimes when I just want to do it quickly, I actually do a bit of this, which I know it looks really stupid, but it works. So yeah, turn it upside down. Now the next thing I want to talk about is actually just to mirror it. Now I can see that it's upside down. Let's fix that, because that flips is on its horizontal axis, right? And what I used to do when I was studying art is I used to have one of these makeup mirrors in my pocket, and I just took it up every now and then to assess my work with, which was great. Any mirror I would say works, but mirroring it is a really powerful tool, and it's really quick, so that's good. So get a pocket mirror and you know, try to mirror your art and see if you find anything weird with it. Another really good thing you can do, which I usually do like at the end of a session when I've painted a lot, I just snap a photo of my painting here with my cell phone. And then I'll, you know, go brush my teeth or whatever, and I'll lie in bed, and then I'll look at the painting. And you know, you can resize stuff, which is really nice. You can just, you know, before you go to work, you just boop. And then when you're sitting at work at lunch, you're like looking at it, and then you can make a few notes, you know. I've circled stuff on my photo as well, like written random notes, red circles, just fix this. It's perfect. So yeah, take a picture of it. I don't use them in any particular order. I kinda use them, you know, whenever I'm looking at the piece I'm working on. Really often I do this. Really often I tilt my head, or I like stand back, or I squint. It's just all the time basically, because that's the only way to stay fresh, what I've found. Fresh in my objective viewing of what I'm doing. And I'll tell you a story. I did a portrait once. I was working. I put so many hours into it. And I was like into the details, right? I was sitting this close to my canvas with the smallest brush. And then my lovely wife came into the room, and she looked at it, and I was like, "What do you think?" And I saw, ooh, this is gonna hurt. And then she said, "It doesn't really look like him." But that's the point, right? She came in with fresh eyes, and she saw who I was trying to paint. But she also saw that I mean, you've captured some things, but it doesn't really look like him. So, that's what we want, right? That's what we want with our own eyes. So we gotta do all these shenanigans to make it work. But yeah, so stand back and mirror it, and turn it upside down, and put it on a shelf and walk past it, and take a picture of it with your phone. And if nothing seems to work, you do all that and you still look at your painting and you're like, something is off, but I can't figure out what. I just can't figure out why it feels wrong. Just leave it, go to bed, sleep on it, and wake up the next morning, and you will have fresh eyes. Paint, draw, and keep your eyes and brain fresh. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.